What's good, YouTube? SlenderRevolutionX here, coming to you guys today after quite a long time, a little bit of a hiatus for me. I moved back home from Florida, so back in Maryland, coming to you guys today with a new updated World Chalice deck profile. I know I gauged a lot of interest from you guys when I made the first World Chalice Orcust, then Mermaid got hit, and then we kind of moved on to regular World Chalice. Basically, the deck is super combo heavy, and I've got an updated list now where we're now playing Rokket World Chalice. Just basically, let's put a bunch of engines together and see how big of a board we can build. So without further ado, guys, we're just going to dive right into it, and I'll kind of explain how I go, kind of explain as we go how the deck works. And if you guys, like I say, if you want to see combo videos, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. I'm just really passionate about this deck and really like seeing it do well. So without further ado, guys, let's just dig right in.
Alright guys, so we'll start off with the monsters here. Because the deck is basically like just a bunch of different engines thrown together, that's kind of how I have them aligned in here. So we're going to start off with the World Chalice engine, basically 3 Lee, 3 Legacy, 2 Guard Dragon, 2 Chosen, 1 Beckoned. Basically, you really want to find a way to like this be one of your first summons of the turn, just because this is like your best starter card in the deck. Generally, you open up this and Venus, or Venus and Lee, or Unexpected Die in this. Like, there's so many ways to get to this that it's really not hard to do, and like resolving this card is so good. So that's the World Chalice engine of monsters. Then obviously we have our Venus engine. Pretty self-explanatory. 1 card, Saryuja, like just like Link plays forever. Just like another card that you really want to see on every turn. Then we go to our Rokket engine. I only play 4 Rokket monsters, basically just like 2 Tracers and then 2 cards that Tracers can get to. Just because this is like without Justicard, now this is like your way to go into the Savage Dragon on the last play of your turn. So really crucial. You either want to see this or one of the quick launches. These cards are just kind of cards that this gets to. The fact that this is just a level 4 tuner is kind of insane. So that's the Rokket monster engine there. And then we go to kind of like our one-ofs. Each of one of the baby dragons. These cards are just like pure extenders in the deck. The 1 Brotar basically searches Christia for you. 1 Red MD when you don't have the target to go search the Christia with Brotar, you kind of just go into Red Med with LP just to make your second Saryuja. Then your 1 Christia, pretty much like the reason that this deck still has a lot of life to it. Losing a couple of consistency cards over the past couple formats, I've continued to play it, but losing those cards has really made the deck like I don't want to say reliant on Christia, but like putting this card on board and protecting it with the IB is basically like your win condition. And then this is like another one of your win conditions is the Gamma Seal. Just this with Kyoto Waterfront is absolutely insane. Alright, so that's everything for monsters. On to spells, 3 Unexpected Die. Your best starter card in the deck. If you open up this and World Legacy World Chalice, you're pretty much in business to go full combo. Then we have our 3 quick launches. Just basically, this card's not once per turn, which is kind of insane. And this is like, oh, I'm going to give you, this is like a Borderlord Savage in itself. So this is the reason I basically put in the Rokket engine, basically to replace the fact that the deck lost IB, which is like such a huge thing for the deck. So being able to put this in, kind of swapping out, it boosted the deck number up a little bit, but these cards are just like ultra consistent in themselves, so it's not a bad thing. 3 Called by the Graves, pretty staple in any combo deck. Like right now, obviously, like if I stop an Ash, the biggest thing like I'm worried about is Droll. And if this card stops Droll, I'm going off. And like people aren't even really playing Droll right now, so the fact that this card just does a lot for you right now is really good. Just protects your plays, allows you to continue to go off. Because sometimes a well-timed hand trap can really stunt your whole opening board. So I still think this is necessary. 2 World Legacy Guard Dragons, just a searchable extender in the deck, with Lib being a card now. These are searchable as well as our one of World Legacy Succession. Just depending on where you are in your place, these do a lot for you. I've toyed with the idea of going down to 1 and putting in an extra Succession, but the fact that this gives you fodder to blow up with Tracer, like bring Tracer back, blow this up, and then go into your level 8 synchro, is the reason this still is at 2. One emergency teleport still searches out Chosen of the World Chalice, so that's free. The 1 Kyoto Waterfront, super broken if you open it up. If you usually can get this, if you can get to this before the 3rd star UJ, you're pretty much in business. We have the 1 Monster Reborn, obviously pretty self-explanatory. 1 Foolish Burial, same kind of deal, pretty self-explanatory. The 1 Boot Sector launch, because you do make Striker Dragon in this. I haven't used it a whole lot as far as its own effect, but it does give you an additional card to put back with Saryuja, so that's kind of why it has its place in here. And then last but not least, my 1 trap is World Legacy Sorrow, because finally, this is searchable again. Not that it wasn't searchable with id before, but if you guys have watched my past, like the World Chalice Orcus deck list that I did, that I got 16th with, ran this because you're able to set this with, or search this with ib, and then you were able to co-link, but in the past format, you hadn't really been doing a whole lot of co-linking, but now with the fact that Lib is a card and you co-link it with the ib, it gives you an Omni Negate, which is pretty cool. So that's the whole main deck. I believe it's 44, maybe 45. I pretty much toy around with a lot of the different variations and ratios of how I want to do, but the core itself is, it's pretty consistent. You know, you can ask people that I've played, you know, I've been playing this deck for a couple of months now, especially with the quarantine and everything. Like, this deck, it's so much fun. Then you go on to extra deck. We have our 1 Imduck, absolutely broken. This card's insane. The 1 Almirage, just in case you can't get a second monster on board with the World Legacy World Chalice, you go into Almirage, and that gives you the ability to set off World Chalice's effects and grave. So then we have our 1 Link Spider, pretty standard, I think. I've been running this in this deck ever since I started building it. Not only is it basically the way for you to get to Saryuja from strictly Venus alone, but it also, you can take the Nibiru token and continue your plays if you have a normal monster in hand. Really not too bad. The 1 Striker Dragon, obviously, we're running a bit of a Rokket engine. This searches the field spell. Definitely, I think, a necessity at 1. It also allows you to do some pretty cool things before you make Saryuja, so that way you have more cards in hand to put back, rather than have to worry about putting back a card that you wouldn't want to have to. You have that additional slot. Then our Pisty and LP, still running Guard Dragons, still super broken, still part of the feel of the deck. Just being, like, the fact that LP basically searches Christia for you is actually insane. So that's all my Link 1s. This is basically like Link 1 deck, so gotta love it. My Link 2's the 1 Arm. He's a 1 card Guard Dragon combo. If you go with 2 World Chalices into him, if one of those World Chalices is a World Legacy World Chalice, you've got Guard Dragon combo right there. On top of the fact that he's like your out to something that I haven't seen in a while, but he is your out to Inspector Border, just because he's a Link 2, you link into him, and then you beat over the Inspector Border. And there you go, because if you have the 2 World Chalices at 26, this guy becomes ultra beef. My 1 Lambda, it's basically just here for a generic Link 2 with the 2 down arrows. Like, so if you're not able to go into him, you go into him and still go Guard Dragon plays. The 1 Ib protects all your guys, super clutch. I've been running this for, I want to say, the past 2 formats in here. If you can put a Christia and a Gamma Seal on either side of her, good luck with that Lightning Storm, bro. Like, it's pretty solid. The newest edition, obviously, my girl Lib. Ib Reincarnated lets you search for your World Chalice stuff, or your World Legacy cards, whether that's Succession, Guard Dragon, or the Sorrow, so you have to Omni Negate. Basically, you go into this on most turns, I want to say. Like, obviously, that you have to resolve a World Legacy World Chalice to be able to get to this, just so you have that engraved, but this card is absolutely ridiculous. Really good going second as well. So that's all my Link 2s, and then we go straight into Link 4s. 2 Sarge, would be at 3 if extra deck space wasn't so tight, but you generally only need 2. I haven't really ran into situations where I need more than 2. The one Boral Sword Dragon. If you end up going second, this used to be a card that I sometimes would side deck, but the fact is this deck goes into Link Force so quickly that if you end up going second, like 9 times out of 10 you can make this and just kill your opponent. And then you have your Appaloosa for going first. Set up more negates. I mean, you end up on a ton of negates. If you guys are interested in seeing that, leave a like, leave a comment in the section down below, and even if you don't, I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to end up putting in a little bit of a combo for you guys, just because the deck is really, really fun, and I encourage a lot of people to play it. But that's it for the Link monsters, and last but not least, we have our one synchro monster, which is Warlord Savage. So, like I said, the reason the Rokket is in here is to be able to go into this. I really struggled with and was really disappointed in the deck when the past ban list dropped and saw that it was banned, just because I felt like it was an indirect hit to this deck, which was really sad. It was right after I had gotten my invite with this deck. That Monday, the ban list came into effect, so I basically put the deck down for a long time, and was just kind of like drowning in my own sorrows, and was like, I really love this deck. I don't really know how to be able to play it right now. So it was really frustrating, but basically came around and I was like, there's got to be a way to be able to do this. And we kind of found that through Rokket. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. I always love to hear from you guys. And as always, guys, remember to subscribe to join the revolution today. This is SlenderRevolutionX signing out, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.